You're listening to the Call Kent podcast, where Kent C. Dodds answers questions and gives insights to software engineers like you. Now, let's hear the call.
Hey Kent, it's Jan. So I'm really looking into the MCP stuff, and the resources that you make available for free are great. Thank you for that. My question is, would you also be able to use this MCP stuff within one application? Because it sounds like MCP is a lot about like communicating between different tools. But what if I want to be able to, call certain server functions or certain APIs inside of my app based on the context and basically use it to bridge the gap between natural language and how the user maybe interacts with the app and programming code that runs deterministically? Because that would be also something that you hinted about, right? Like that we can completely transform the way that people interact with apps. So yeah, I hope this question makes sense. Basically, does it make sense to use MCP locally or just confined to one app, or is it only for communicating between apps? Or maybe there's a better way to integrate LLMs to rethink the way that users interact with apps inside of an app. Thank you very much. Bye.
And that was the call. Here's what Kent had to say.
Hey, Jan, thanks for the question. I think that I understand what you're asking about, and I don't think that my answer is yes, if I understand it right. So what it sounds like you're saying is, when the user clicks a button on my app, does it make sense for me to to have like an MCP client that invokes the functions and tools and resources on the MCP server, effectively replacing a REST API with an MCP API or something? To me, I don't think this really makes a lot of sense. I mean, you definitely could do it. It is a standard protocol that you can create clients and servers for, and so you could do that. And one of the benefits there would be that you could have your MCP server serve both a natural language client, like a Jarvis-like application, a host application for an LLM, as well as your web application. And so it could make sense for like a transitional sort of thing. But you don't get a whole lot out of MCP if you're not using it with, that's not entirely true. I was going to say if you're not using it with an LLM app, but that's not true. Like you do have, it is a perfectly good standard protocol for communication, and you could definitely use it within a single application. And we're so early with this protocol that maybe there is some really awesome innovation here that I wasn't expecting would make sense in this context. So yes, you could. It's not necessarily constrained to communication between services. You definitely can use it for that. And again, the benefit being that because it's a standard protocol that's being implemented by client applications for LLM chat, you can kind of double dip and make an MCP server for your app that you consume and then expose that for your users as well. Kind of get the feeling that would be a little bit of extra work unnecessarily when you could just use React server functions or something. But yeah, like maybe. It's an interesting question. The way that I see things going is a lot more to like the user interfaces that we're building will kind of fade away and be replaced by a Jarvis application sort of thing. And I'll link to a blog post that I write about that. You've probably read it, but maybe others haven't. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully that's helpful. Have a good one.
This has been the Call Kent podcast. Learn more about Kent at kentcdodds.com and get your own questions answered at kentcdodds.com/calls.